So, it is really great that KLC are launching this national interior design competition. I'm even more excited that it's alongside Grand Designs Live. I've known KLC for about 30 years. I even taught there a little bit. And what I really admire about them is the way they've brought a new professionalism to both interior design, but also to the teaching of that subject as well. So I really hope you feel motivated on your course to enter. And there is a fantastic prize, which is a degree. It's a course at KLC that will take you to a BA Honours in interior design, which is very, very cool indeed. As you might expect, I am quite interested in design. It's in the title of my programme. I am actually fascinated in the process. I'm quite driven by it. A process which we as a species have been evolving for tens of thousands of years, and which we use to make the world better in all kinds of ways, whether it's planning a menu or choosing a tie. I choose not to wear one, or designing a chair or a spoon or a city. The principle and the processes are all the same. Researching, taking a brief, studying, thinking, reflecting, trying stuff out, experimenting, sketching, modelling, and then doing that all over again as we learn more and more. Its big objective, if you like, is to make the world better. It's to make our world better for us, but hopefully better for everything around us too. Vitruvius in the 1st century hit upon 3 basic principles of what makes good design, good architecture as well too. He said that it should have firmness, commodity, and delight. Firmness meaning sort of durability, robustness, something it's strong and well built. Commodity, well, that's more to do with human beings. A spoon and a city should be easy to negotiate and handle, and shouldn't make us feel stressed. It should be good for human beings. Design should actually work with us. It should be ergonomic. And delight, well, I mean, that's self-explanatory. But I think good design ought to not just be delightful for a minute. It should actually provide continuing joy in use as we develop a relationship with the made world and the made objects. Now, I think in this 21st century, there's probably another quality that we should be adding to that list of 3 that has been time-honoured for 2,000 years. But I think now is the time to think about how we weave sustainability into everything we do. For people of my generation, that's so often been thought of as a sort of bolt-on, an afterthought. But for your generation, I think it's at the top of the list. We have to design and make a world which improves our lot and the lot of those around us, but also somehow respects the planet, that not only improves our physical environment, but looks after the wider natural environment as well. It's a really hard ask. And I do think that it's something that is going to kind of create a whole new order, a world that is visual and experiential for us going forward, which is probably richer for it, and at the same time is going to look quite different. Look, that's enough from me. I really hope you feel enthused to enter. I hope that you'll be able to work with your tutors, your teachers, to produce some wonderful stuff. I've got no doubt that we're going to see some amazing entries from all over the country. I really look forward to seeing them. So go think, go design, go model, go create, go be organisational, and good luck.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Kevin, and hello from the KLC School of Design. KLC and Grand Designs are thrilled to bring you a brand new competition with a huge prize, a scholarship that will cover all the course fees for a 3-year BA Hons in Interior Design. The winner will study on-site at the KLC School of Design, located right at the heart of the interior design industry in London, the Design Centre Chelsea Harbour. This location is Europe's largest interior design hub, a 4-storey trade shopping centre filled with kitchen, bathroom, fabric, furniture and lighting showrooms. KLC is family owned and run, with small class sizes and lots of personal attention. For 40 years, we have been launching graduate successful design careers. This competition is great news for the lucky winner. In these uncertain times, you can be completely confident of a top-class education. The prize is for study face-to-face at the school in London. However, KLC also specialises in online education, and during lockdown, this expertise powered our teaching and all courses continued online, full-time and uninterrupted for the duration. Our careers department has unrivalled industry contacts. This is why we have such great success in helping our graduates find jobs. Studying design is never boring. It pulls in so many different subjects, from technical drawing to history, textiles to the environment and sustainable practice, and including business practice. But above all, it allows creative immersion and expression. I have a question for you. What do you think of when you think of interior design? What kind of project comes to mind? When you see it on telly, interior design usually focuses in the home. Here you can see the type of design work often seen on TV. This room was designed by top designer Sophie Ashby. But don't for a minute think that interior design is just for residential clients. Here's another question. What's your favourite store? Where do you like to go shopping? Next time you're in a shopping centre, take a closer look at the materials and spatial planning. Does it perform well despite being used by thousands of shoppers? Within stores, what about the lighting? Does it help to sell the products? Can you see display furniture? Is the store broken up into different zones? And if so, how can you tell where one area starts and another one ends? Can you see that every store has a distinct look? This is all interior design. Looking at the Dior store on the screen, imagine creating the idea for this design in the first place. This shop is in Korea, but the designer might not have been. Imagine drawing this and writing instructions so that the construction team in Korea can build your design without you actually having to be there. Restaurant and hotel design is another specialism. Here, the designer might consider safety first, or perhaps ease of service for staff, traffic flow and circulation. However, the creation of an environment that appeals, that draws customers in, and that leads to sales is just as important. So what about health and well-being? Close your eyes. Imagine the interior of a hospital, the colours, the materials, the shapes of furniture, the type of lighting. When I ask you to imagine a hospital, is this the sort of image that comes to mind? Well, probably not. Designers can promote health and well-being. They can help people to feel better. They can help workers feel better about their work environment. For example, think about your school. Presumably, you could imagine ways in which your school environment could be improved. Can buildings make occupants feel more human, more important, more calm, or perhaps more energetic, more focused on their studies? The answer is almost all of them. Most buildings will pass through the hands of an interior designer. On larger projects, the interior designer is likely to work alongside architects and other consultants. As well as creating designs, their responsibilities will frequently include preparing budgets, obtaining permissions and approvals, creating palettes of materials and colour schemes, designing original interior installations, fittings and furniture, and specifying materials, products and components. Interior design contributes to the economy and to society. It makes businesses viable, attracting foreign spending on tourism, powering hotels and hospitality, and supporting the retail sector. So interior design is not just decoration. And many interior designers also work on the reuse of existing buildings. KLC graduates specify products and materials based on their environmental credentials. In fact, designers have digital tools that calculate environmental performance. With a degree in interior design, here are some of the careers that you could access. Designers learn to promote, present, and defend their design. They think critically. They're open to feedback. They learn to change tack and to move on with determination and a positive attitude. Training as a designer sets you up with skills for life. Let's look at one example of an interior design project by KLC student Anita Blatch. Here we see the very first stage of the design process. The designer is thinking hard about the information provided by the client as part of the briefing process. Then the designer starts thinking about the form, the colours and textures inspired by their analysis of the brief. By sketching and making models, the student is able to creatively explore the potential of the space. And CAD packages help the designer to measure proposed layouts on plan and to scale, to test the safety and the performance of their ideas. Eventually, a finished plan is produced, and colours and materials are defined. These materials are edited and curated in order to present a selection that meets the client's brief perfectly. Today, most presentation materials are computer generated. Here you see the designer's final visuals of the space. They aren't photographs, they're coloured computer simulations based on the CAD model that the student made and the materials information that the student input. And clients love visuals. You can see why. Something many prospective students worry about is the need for hand drawing skills. It's certainly true that designers need to be able to draft very simple sketches. But today, almost all visuals are computer generated. So here are some tips for anybody who's considering entering the competition. Number 1. Design practice is about communication. You can have a great idea, but this needs to come across clearly and from the presentation materials that you produce. Show your submission materials to friends and family. Ask them to explain to you your proposal. If they don't understand your intention, how could you improve your work so that your design communication becomes clearer? Number 2. Interior designers should have an eye for detail. You can control how clean and tidy your work is, and sloppy, dirty work just won't make a good impression. Number 3. Your work has to make an impact, and the best way to achieve this is if you enjoy producing it. Don't hold back. Choose a project that really inspires you. 4. Look online and see how other professionals use labelling and page layout, symmetry or asymmetry, to give their presentation materials great visual impact. So have a look at the portfolios online of professional architects and designers to get some ideas. Point 5. Less is more. Sometimes the simplest ideas are best. Often showing one view is better than overwhelming the viewer with multiple inputs. Now, to be absolutely 100% clear on this point, we do not expect to see work like the work we've been looking at today. The student whose work I've shown to you was at the very end of their degree programme. The important thing about participating in this competition is that you just join in and love the experience. We really hope you feel inspired to take part, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and we wish the very best of luck to all of our competition entrants.